Hello there, Gemini. Michelle B here. I've got a tarot reading all ready to go for you. But before I get started, I want to mention that if this storyline, if the advice doesn't resonate with you, make sure and check out your moon, your rising, your Venus and Mars on my channel, those placements on my channel, or go check out your sun in Gemini on any of the many other tarot readers here on YouTube. There are lots of us out there. You probably find a piece of advice that works for you, for your situation, but otherwise you can just listen in general for good advice. And if you hear lots of noise in the background as though I'm sitting in some outdoor cafe, it's because right outside my window and downstairs is an outdoor breakfast cafe. So people are chatting it up and having a really good time, and I'm happy for them. Seems like they got quiet for a minute. They might make a lot of noise again. Maybe it was the guy in the antique shop that was making a bunch of noise. But let's go ahead and get started, Gemini. My dear Gemini, my first piece of affirmation to get things started is I release all worry, I can't read it backwards, and fear about things that are outside of my control to create space for new opportunities. And this is, I mean, if it's not about worrying, it's not about Gemini, is it? You have a lot of thoughts going on all the time. You think so hard. And when I was doing this reading, I put myself in the space of Gemini, and it was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Lots of anxiety going on. And it's slowing down your ability to attract positive outcomes. It's making nothing happen, essentially. We have the hangman. Hangman was here in your internal landscape saying, essentially nothing is happening. Also the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which is the opportunities, right? It's in the reverse. It's like you're doing this to yourself kind of situation. So I got what to embrace and what to leave behind. For what to leave behind, we have the Page of Cups, which represents to me a childlike, sweet, naive kind of character that's just like, I just think that people are going to be good to me, and I just think that people are just going to take care of me because I'm nice and sweet, right? And you get what you get when you don't toughen up just a little bit. I want to say that everybody should just be nice, right? But you can be nice and also kind of look out for yourself. You can be nice and also speak up for your needs. You can be nice and also assertive for what it is that you want. So that your piece of advice is to leave that naive, I'll get what I can get. Will you please just put it in my teeny tiny little cup point of view and move into the space of being a queen that's like, this is really what I want. You're just straightforward. You're like, this is what I want. This is what I need. I'm willing to do the work. I'm closing my eyes to the emotional aspect of it. I'm going to stop feeling sorry for myself, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to get what I want. All right. Now the queen is a little bit more balanced because she's in the sword sphere. The sword sphere is a masculine energy, but she's also got these feminine attributes of biding her time, being patient, and taking good care of her physical and emotional self at the same time. So she's a wonderful balance of feminine and masculine energies, which is very good for the twins, right? You need to be able to kick back and take some space to just dawdle and meditate and think about things and like spin that creative mind, but you also need to be able to be self-sufficient and be able to be in relationships that are healthy, not just for the other person, but for you too, something that's beneficial for both of you. So looking into the internal landscape of the moment right now, like I said, I had the Hanged Man and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse, which is this very stagnant, static place. Not good for Gemini at all. Gemini is so dynamic, mutable, ready to switch over here, switch over there. So it's like inside, you're like, I don't know about this, I don't know about that, but it's in the space of stress and worry. But you're outside, your life, your environment it's stuck. You're not getting anywhere because you're so wrapped up in here, right? I don't know what to do. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. And meanwhile, nobody's looking out for me. 10 of Swords. Nobody's looking out for me. Whenever I try to be helpful, people just betray me. Whenever I depend on people, they don't come through. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. It's like, I'm not sure what to do. I feel like you're doing a lot of little things that are adding up to nothing. All of your efforts that you're putting in right now are amounting to nothing. Now, this can be, my favorite topics to touch on are your career, your creative projects, and your romantic love. These are my favorite things, but you can fit it in however it works for you. So if you're trying to be in a relationship, you're doing a lot more for them, but they see you as a scatterbrain and like somebody who can't do things for themselves, and maybe they're dogging on you all the time. Or, you know, if you're trying to date, it seems like there's all these people that you're talking to, but it's getting absolutely nowhere. If it's just a work kind of thing, or trying to come up with money that you need in order to be self-sufficient, you're doing a lot of little things and it's amounting to nothing. So it's like I'm juggling all these things instead of just focusing on something and putting a lot more dedicated effort toward it. So let's look at the advice going forward for you, Gemini, of how to go forward in this situation. I got a bunch of cards. I have the Two of Cups being here, and it's talking about masculine and feminine balance. Remember, I was talking about that with that Queen of Swords. She's a good balance of masculine and feminine. So I feel like you've been a lot in your feminine, and I love being feminine. All of my placements amount to way more feminine than masculine. But Gemini, it's asking you to bring more of that masculine energy forward, that assertive energy forward, to saying, this is what I want. And it's backed up by the Ace of Swords. New opportunities can come in if you just say you want them. If you just come to a decision of what it is that you want. I think you know what you want. If you know that you want to break up with somebody, if you know that you want to hook up with somebody, if you know you want to work at you want to have some kind of career so you can have a contribution to your community. If you know what it is that you want to be doing, I know I want to go travel the world, right? If you know what you want to do, start talking about it. Start just put the sword forward and saying, this is who I am. And I love that the Queen is holding her sword. See that? The Queen is holding her sword. It's like, this is who I am. And I'm standing up for it. There you are. It's like an extension of that hand right there. It's just like, this is who I am. And standing strong in it and not letting anybody talk you out of it. Nobody's going to say, oh, that's a silly idea. It doesn't matter. It's your thing. And that's what you're sticking to, okay? Now, the Five of Pentacles is here in the reverse, and I do sense that that's the reason that you're juggling so many different things. Oh, I know what all the racket was. It is the antique shop downstairs, and I can hear him drilling something. Fortunately, I have very thick floor or their ceiling, so I just hear like a little vibration. Okay, so he was just chatting it up outside my window. That's why it was so noisy there for a little bit. I'm glad to have more and more businesses and shops opening now that things are winding down, and at least in Washington, Northwest Washington, as far as the pandemic goes, more and more of us are being vaccinated, and so that we can start participating in the economy a little bit more again. That's really good. Speaking of participating in the economy, Five of Pentacles is a worry about scarcity, and it's trying to tell you, you're like throwing all this energy around. This was directly under the Two of Pentacles. It's like, I'm throwing my energy over here. I'm throwing my energy over here because I'm concerned about the money. I'm concerned about the finances. I'm concerned about, if it is, I just got a little download about concern about physical health, and you're like trying all these different things, maybe trying a few different diets. And it's like, there's too much going on. And that's what's contributing to the fragility of health. I can sense that that's something that somebody needs to hear. But also it has to do with your economic stability. Just scattering around here and there is not good for your economic stability. So diversify less. Be less diversified. Stick with one thing. Just do one thing at a time. If you're on a special diet to try to figure out what your allergies are, make sure and give it the proper amount of time to find out what it is that you're actually allergic to. For example, Make sure you give a project you're starting the proper amount of time to start to pan out before you give up and go off to something else. And when it comes to connections with someone else, make sure and give it the proper amount of time to develop and grow before you just give up. So yeah, for those of you who are worried about the money, I feel like the message is you have more money than you think. You are more stable than you think. And you throwing your energy everywhere and worrying about it all the time, it's like it's making things worse. It's creating a scenario where you think you're worse off than you actually are. And then finally, we have the moon here for you, my dear Gemini. The moon is here in the advice. And it's like a final closure. Hey, release all worry, right? The moon is about the illusion of what could possibly be happening that isn't actually true. I don't know how this is going to fit into your scenario, but it's like it's saying find out. If you're worried about, if there's something that you're worried about, go find out what the truth is. What kinds of examples can I give? If you're worried about whether or not someone likes you, go ask them. That's what the Queen of Swords would do. She would just go ask, right? Would you want to would you be interested in hanging out with me sometime? For example, if you're worried about whether or not you have the money to pay your bills, go through and write up a budget of what all of your expenses are and figure out what you have coming in. These are examples. Sort it out. Instead of being worried about it, find out whether or not you actually even have anything to worry about. I feel like there's some clarifying that needs to happen. First of all, speaking up for what it is that you want, coming to sticking out what it is that you want long enough to see it come to pass, and then finally finding out whether or not you actually have anything to worry about at all. I release all worry. A little meditation for a second. I release all worry, and I feel that worry just crumble away from my heart, crumble out of my mind, fading, 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 as I hear my breathing. We create our reality one instant at a time. And what kind of reality do you want to create? One you need to be worried about, or one that's full of opportunities and fun? You're being told to just go for what it is that you want. Just do it, okay? And stick it out and watch it happen, instead of deciding that it's not going to work and getting all worried and giving up. I love you, Gemini. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Take care.